There's a terminal sitting at a major American airport right now that hasn't changed in decades, and the airline that built it no longer exists. American World Airways, Pan Am, was once the unofficial flag carrier of the United States. It didn't hold that title officially because the U.S. never designated one. But for most of the mid-20th century, if you were an American flying internationally, Pan Am was the answer. It launched the jet age on transatlantic routes. It introduced the Boeing 747 to commercial service in 1970. It trained a generation of pilots who went on to build the modern airline industry. What people don't realize is how complete the collapse was. Pan Am didn't shrink. It didn't merge. It didn't get absorbed quietly into another carrier's network. On December 4, 1991, after 64 years of continuous operation, Pan Am ceased flying entirely, mid-route. Aircraft that took off that morning landed at their destinations and never flew for the airline again. What's interesting is what was left behind. The Pan Am Worldport at JFK, a sweeping circular terminal with a distinctive cantilevered roof designed to allow aircraft to park directly beneath it, stood as an active terminal under other names for years after the airline dissolved. Delta eventually operated from it. It was demolished in 2013. But in cities where Pan Am infrastructure was absorbed rather than rebuilt, the architectural ghost of the airline persists in ways that are quietly remarkable. Here's where it gets complicated. Pan Am's collapse wasn't a single event. It was a decade-long unraveling. The 1973 oil crisis hit the fuel-dependent carrier hard. The deregulation of the airline industry in 1978 removed protections Pan Am had relied on. The bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland in 1988 devastated bookings on transatlantic routes the airline depended on to survive. And this is where it shifts. The pilots, the flight attendants, the ground crews who showed up for work on December 4, 1991, didn't know it was the last day. Some found out their airline was gone while they were still in the air. But the detail that stands out most is this. Pan Am held the route authority to fly to more destinations than any airline in the world at its peak. By the end, it couldn't afford to fly to most of them. Did you know the airline that launched the jet age for Americans disappeared in a single day?